Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. New Legacy, who dis? This is my first video that I'm recording since the Ragavan ban in Legacy. Wizards took a very conservative approach to the ban list. There were a lot of people with a lot of cards they wanted to see go, but they just clipped the tip of the branch on Ragavan, and that's the Legacy we got for now. Let's see what this is going to look like. This list today is sent by supporter Spunky, who is a blue wizard. As you know, if you've watched my channel, he sends all sorts of cool blue brews my way. And this one is a very cool space to take this sort of Jeskai shell in the post-Ragavan world. This is definitely a deck that would have played Ragavan a week ago, but we don't have that anymore. And now we get tempo cards like Stifle and clunkers like True Name Nemesis to fill up the spots that used to be occupied by just Ragavan. And that's pretty exciting. It also means that a deck with cards like Stifle and Daze in it is not going to get clowned by a 1-drop that generates mana. That's a good time to explore these sort of cards. Also, Stoneforge Mystic lines up better against the 1-drops in the format now because this 1/2 2-drop no longer gets eaten by a 2/1 1-drop. There's a lot of cool stuff to like about this deck. This is the first time I've played a blue deck that really leans into Esper Sentinel. I've seen a lot of tweets with this card in it. I know Pokemoki was working on it. I feel like there's other people I should be crediting in my Twitter feed, but I'm forgetting who they are. These Esper Sentinel fair blue tempo kind of decks are not new, but it's the first time I've explored them. And Esper Sentinel is really powerful. This card just keeps going up in price. This was one of the sleepers in Modern Horizon 2. Not that nobody thought it was good. It was just, I don't think anyone realized how good it was or how much it would change Modern. And it does see occasional Legacy play, but hasn't really found a home yet in this format. I hope this is it. The cool thing about Esper Sentinel is that it's a way to advance your board, which a tempo deck wants to do. It's a way to draw cards, which a blue deck wants to do. And it's a way to tax their mana, which is something a Daze and Stifle deck want to do. So Esper Sentinel just lines up with all the cool things that this deck's trying to do. The triumphant return of Stoneforge Mystic to blue decks. Jeskai Stoneforge was starting to creep back into playability at the tail end of the Ragavan format. Still never really took off, but it was at least on the front page of Goldfish. Stoneforge Mystic trying to make its way back into Legacy. On the top end, we got Cauldron Complete and Murktide Region. Just pick your favorite giant jerk, and you get both of them. Attaching an equipment of any variety to Esper Sentinel is just draw a card every time your opponent casts a non-creature spell, because it's hard enough in Legacy to pay 1 reliably. You're not paying 3. You're definitely not paying 5. It's just not going to happen. So just a lot of cool overlapping synergies here in a tempo deck that is designed to punish your opponent's mana with Wasteland, Stifle, and Daze, and Esper Sentinel while you pull ahead on cards. Just really cool, tight little package here. This deck is also doing one of my favorite things that hasn't been viable in Legacy for a very long time, which is, this is an Azorius deck that's called Jeskai because it has a sideboard full of potent red cards. I love basic lands in my deck. I feel like this deck could probably play more than 2 basic lands if it wanted to, but I'm going to play it as is and see how I feel about that going in. But I feel like you could turn one of these Volks and one of the Tundras into more basics, but yeah, we'll see how that plays out. My love for basics aside, this is a blue-white StoneBlade deck with a red splash in the sideboard and red for Converge on Prismatic Ending. Getting ending from 2 to 3 is just such a big deal in Legacy. So many permanents cost 3 that you want to get rid of, like Uro and various Planeswalkers. Getting the pips up to 4 to hit things like Jace also matters, but this deck can't do that. We got Red Blast in the sideboard to handle that. And that's this deck. If you've been following my content since the beginning, like 2018 sort of era, or 2019, early 2019, I don't remember when I started doing this sort of thing, but this was the deck I was working on, Blue-White StoneBlade. This is like the original BoshNRoll content signature deck. I was working on this deck leading up to GP Niagara, which ended up being won by Blue-White StoneBlade. Like, I definitely felt like I had a real impact on the Legacy format working on this deck. So I've got some reps with Blue-White StoneBlade, and I'm excited to revisit it now. Let's jump into this. I'm on the play in round number 1, and wow, this hand. If one of these cards at random was a Tundra, I'm in, but it's not, so let's ship it. Okay, that's basically the deal I just got. And revisiting already my conversation from the deck tech about basic lands, the ability to cast Esper Sentinel and hold up Daze is too important. I take back everything I said about basic lands. This does need to be built like a Delver deck, which means non-basics, so I take it back immediately upon seeing my first opening spread. Now I'm thinking maybe there's too many basics in the deck. We'll see how that plays out. Magic the Gathering is great. Anyway, here's Esper Sentinel. It's cool that we get to do the thing on the first try. It's just turn 1 of game 1, Esper Sentinel with Daze backup, let's go. We're in there. And the cool thing is that if my opponent pays 1 for Esper Sentinel, then I can daze them after they commit that mana. Just really exciting. Here's a Ponder. Really need a land here. Oh, fuck. Time to shuffle. Land? Shit. Well, we're in some trouble here. I hope they don't wasteland me. I have spells to cast if... Like, maybe I was supposed to daze this DRC. I just don't think that's accurate. I don't know. I really hope I don't get wastelanded here. And that's why I started on Ponder and not Wasteland, and not Brainstorm. Because if Brainstorm saw those 3 cards, I would lose the game, but Ponder got to get rid of them. Still didn't end up with a land, but I did my best. Fuck. Pay the 1, pay the 1. Oh, there is no 1. Well, I'm going to daze this. I got to protect my land. Okay, yeah, they pay the 1. That's not how I want to be using my daze, but here we are. Tundra. I might as well Brainstorm now. I'm just getting wasted anyway. And if they daze now, then untap and Lightning Bolt, that's a very different game than if I let them cast 2 spells on their turn, because Esper Sentinel only checks the first one. I'm going to put Stoneforge on top because I'm not casting that ever, and Prismatic Ending under it. I have double forest, double blue card available, and I'm getting wasted, and then I draw Prismatic Ending, fetch for another Tundra, and exile one of these creatures. They've done a good job not casting any spells yet. I'm pretty disappointed about that. Okay, there's the Wasteland. They're just shipping it. Nice. Okay, get another Tundra. They didn't play a land. I don't think they would sandbag Wasteland on me. They would just cast their card. They could Stifle here, but I draw a card if they do that. I actually can't play around Wasteland, so I won't. Prismatic Ending. They could float a blue and daze this. I need to force this. Oh god, that would be terrible. I could force the Murktide Regent, try to play this game. Oh my god, this is bad. Okay. Doing it. Don't like that, but here we are. Oh wow, another one? I can't go Hellbent here, can I? Pitched Ponder. Can this Esper Sentinel and Brainstorm do more work than, like, versus 2 DRCs? I don't like all the scries they're getting. I think I need this Brainstorm. Ugh. Hate it, hate it, hate it. And if they ever, like, Lightning Bolt my creature, I get to draw a card out of it. Okay. Life is getting better. Things are improving. Gonna attack here. They're at 3 card types in their graveyard, including Artifact, so they have one of the weird ones already available. Am I in the end step Brainstorm space at this point? Or can I still do better than that? I'm gonna draw for my turn. Okay. Lands are coming together now. Is it too late? Maybe. I hope not. This is a tight Brainstorm. I can keep 1 force, 1 land. No forces. I have to keep at least one of these lands. I think I'm just off Force of Will for the game. Give up. Game's over. And I'm just going to keep getting Tundras because they don't have Wasteland now, and I'd like all of my things to be as functional as possible. They can't daze me here. Okay. We're starting to stabilize. Time to answer this DRC. Oh, I get an extra card? Yes. Yes. Esper Sentinel finally showing up. That's a good card. Okay, let's hope I'm not dead. I have a bazillion coming down next turn. They are delirious now, and they found their second land, so they probably have their own Murktide they can Murk with. Yeah, they're just snapping off this fetch land. That feels like a Murktide region is incoming. Daze you. JK, I'm not that lucky. Okay, there's Murktide. I'm a white deck, though. I have Swords to Plowshares. I haven't drawn any of them yet. Still a chance that I can win this Murk fight. Ooh. That's a card. Okay. Time to Murk. The largest possible. And here's my land. Yes, let's see what happens now. I'm also at 6 against a Lightning Bolt deck with 5 cards in hand. Don't like that. If they can get Delirious, or if they have a second Murktide, I have to chump block. Okay. Well, guess I'm chumping. Required to block here, or I die. And Prismatic Ending does not answer Murktide Regent. Okay. Disappointing. We had the opening salvo, but we're playing against Delver, which simply can function on low mana. It was turn 8, and I had Esper Sentinel on turn 1, and I drew 1 card off it that entire game. Fucked up. I like Flusterstorm, all the Red Blasts, of course. Ending the Festivities is kind of interesting. Like, it hits unflipped Delvers and undelirious DRCs. I'm lukewarm on that, actually. It is like good early game interaction, but I have a lot of that already. I don't think I want to be stifling this deck. I don't want Force of Negation at all. Force of Will is also not great. I have a lot of 1-for-1 answers to Murktide Regent, which I like. Court of Grace is the kind of thickness that can crush this game wide open. This is a good GTA matchup also. Is it also a good Cauldron matchup? Wow, Magic's hard. There's a lot of decisions here. Narset and Hullbreacher are both extremely impactful permanents, but they both cost 3 and they're both blue. So the Daze and Red Blast calculation has to be considered. I could just go straight to 0 Force of Wills and bring in Jitte. Do I want a 4th weapon? Do I cut one of the existing ones if I do that? Is Cauldra ever just going to ranch this opponent? I guess it's possible. It makes Stoneforge into a must answer. Okay, here's Jitte also. This is 4 weapons. Ugh, that's so many. I like the protection from their deck. I like Lifelink. Answering creatures is pretty good, but they're good at killing my creatures. I think I actually do want to end the Festivities in. Alright, here's my deck. Let's go. Okay. No mana problems, please. I do have the Esper Sentinel Daze again. I'm going to keep. I can't play Esper Sentinel off of basic planes because then my hand doesn't really function. I don't know. Not sure if I could keep this on the draw, but I like it on the play. See if the Sentinel does more this game. They are fetching immediately. And Lightning Bolt straight up. They cannot pay the Troll Toll. Do I want a Daze? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's do this. They could daze me back, but sure. Okay. All right, maybe I'm supposed to just take my card there? I don't actually know. And they might have been trying to hook me into a Wasteland situation. If I play out my Tundra, I can't do anything. Oh, I could Brainstorm, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to play my Wasteland here. Ponder. Okay. That doesn't add to the board. Going to go to my turn. I can waste them on my turn just as well as I can waste them on their turn. Well, dang. With 3 Wastelands just running here, if I can take them off of Daze before I commit my Stoneforge Mystic, that would be pretty exciting. All right, Basic Mountain cannot cast Daze, so I did my job here. Stoneforge Mystic solves immediately. And I think I want Batterskull. So Cauldra is the one that says, answer this or die, which I like putting them in the position of. This Basic Mountain also doesn't cast Murktide Regent. Big fan of that. Looks like they thought about attacking and then changed their mind. And I have successfully untapped here. wasteland their blue source. This plays around Brazen Borrower or a bounce spell, because I can move into beginning of combat and then make Cauldron and still attack. Brainstorm is the play. I don't think putting Cauldron in before or after the Brainstorm matters. Can't think of a card where that would be important. Anyway, here's Cauldron. And they just conceded. That feels good. It's ice cold. They were probably Brainstorm locked, like the Relentless Wasteland situation did its job. Do I still want Dazes in my deck on the draw? I feel like getting scrappy. This is not really a Delver Mirror, but also kind of feels like one in a lot of ways. Like Stifle, I could bring in. Stifle hits their fetch lands or their wastelands, but on the draw, I don't think Stifle's really defensible. I'm just going in with the same deck. Gonna mulligan this one for sure. It's wasteland for mana. Send it back. Oh, this is a keeper. Gonna bottom up Ponder and just be on team Esper Sentinel. This is a hand that can fetch basic planes. There's DRC. Ooh. Well, that's a red card. I could just fire off Prismatic Ending. Like, would I rather them daze Prismatic Ending or Esper Sentinel? Probably Ending. Right, thing's just gone. Perfect. Passing the turn. I like that. Okay. Esper Sentinel 1. Esper Sentinel 2. If they have Lightning Bolt and Daze, they could wiggle through this without drawing a card, but they have not done either. And if they had Bolt, they would have done it in response to the second one. I'm worried about like ending the festivities here. Holy shit. Please don't do that. Oh god. And they can pay for both. Oh no, it's happening. It's happening. Oh, it's Forked Bolt. That's the same thing, but worse. And they have Wasteland. God. Oh, but they have to tap the Wasteland. So I do have a turn of... Oh, wow. They chose not to pay. So they plan on wasting me? Alright. I'll draw some cards. That's a relief. I would prefer getting wasted here to... Or I would prefer drawing a card and getting wasted to them just paying 3, I think. I don't know. Weird game. Weird situation. Oh, get fucked. Alright, well... Take you off of Daze and then play the third Esper Sentinel. Nice. Glad they let me draw that card. And I'm ready for Murktide Regent. I have a Red Blast in the pocket. Another Wasteland. That's neat. How about we ponder? Lands and Mercs. I like all of those things. Murktide Regent is only 4/4, but I mean, that's big enough. Okay. I'll put Murktide Regent in my hand and leave the 2 lands on top, the fetch land first. I don't expect them to have like a flash threat I need to care about, like Snapcaster Mage here. Alright, they can pay 1 for Brainstorm. RC, non-delirious. Okay, I can just ram Murktide on the stack, or I can wait a turn and do it with Red Blast backup. But is Red Blast the card I need to back this up with? I don't think so. I think they're likely to Red Blast me with their own Red Blast. I'm just going to fetch. And I think I want to get the second Volcanic Island so they can't waste me off red. Port of Grace is double white, but I'm not in good shape if I draw that card anyway. Yeah, I'll just make sure I have red mana. Here's Murktide Regent. As a 5/5. It's big and it's in. That doesn't mean they don't have Red Blast. Like they could have decided that killing it in play is the same as countering it, and they want to see what else I do with my turn. But I just untapped with the thing, so that's a good feeling. Okay, never mind. Esper Sentinel continues to ask, would you like to pay 1? The EDH experience here in Legacy. Not going to block. Got to my turn. That's good news. How about a good spell? Oh, shit. Well, I did not play for a world where this was a thing I could do. So I'm just going to waste them again. Get in for 1. This is a very good card if I can make it happen. Lightning Bolt. They can pay the toll. Okay, now I'm in kind of trouble. DRC still not delirious. Obviously, I fetch ignoring a single card in my deck and draw that card immediately. Classic. Thanks, Dr. Garfield. That's not a good card right now. I mean, I guess it's fine. I can save this Red Blast for Murktide Regent, or I can just fuck with their Ponder. I think I want to fuck with their Ponder. This might be too aggressive, but They're clearly struggling for action right now, and I want to keep them in that position. My queen. All right, pretty happy with a Narset here. Good chance it gets answered, but that's fine because I'm just building up to Court of Grace. All right, don't have one to pay for this. Somehow this DRC just not delirious. 19 cards into their deck. Another Pyroblast. How about a white spell? That's not Court of Grace. If I can remove this DRC, I'll be feeling pretty good, but it's not where we're at right now. Yikes. And it would stand to reason that if I was gonna Pyroblast a Ponder, I would Pyroblast Expressive Iteration as well to stay consistent. I think I do want to make this move. Court of Grace is just not even good because they have a creature and I don't. Becoming the Monarch, and then they're the Monarch for at least 2 turns while I poop out spirits. Nice fucking deck. Well, as smooth as last game looked, here we are with a handful of 4 and 7 drops in our tempo deck with Wasteland and Daze. Now I'm ice cold to Murktide Regent, which was a decision I made. See if it works out. Oh god, okay. A relevant spell, please. Thank you. This one doesn't get Pyroblasted. It does get Lightning Bolted, but really that's okay. Gonna get Batterskull. Which will tell them that I already have Cauldron in my hand, because obviously Cauldron's fucked on this board. Yep, you can have that. That was clearly their draw for the turn, or else it would have been in play already. And played out a land. Alright, now we're just dumping cards. Wholesale. Says, oh god. Alright, I'm gonna ponder. Okay, this is starting to come together here. Put Swords to Plowshares in my hand. Activate Stoneforge Mystic. Cauldron is complete. Do they have Brazen Bee? Oh no, they do! I can't daze here. That sucks. Alright, fine. Whatever. And that's a temporary solution. Delver flipped immediately, revealing Brainstorm. If a creature goes in the graveyard, they're going to be delirious. Yeah, Brazen Borrower. We talked about this on the Eternal Glory podcast, where with Ragavan out of the deck, it gets to play more generic answers like Brazen Borrower, and we did specifically mention Brazen Borrower as it answers Kaldra, which used to just run coast to coast against these decks, and now it's pretty reasonable to believe they would main deck an answer. I only have 1 white source, so I can't plow and deploy Batterskull. Youch. Well, they didn't leave up mana to play Brazen Borrower. God damn it. Alright, probably dead here. Yeah, leading on Batterskull wouldn't have helped this situation at all. I think I have to... Or I guess if they don't get Delirious, I could be at 1, put in Batterskull, and just hope they don't have a Bolt. I'm going to let Iteration resolve. Like, a world where I connect ones with Batterskull and then start casting my Plow is so much better than one where that doesn't happen. Lightning Bolt was revealed. Okay, so am I just dead anyway? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I was just dead in every direction here. I guess I can Plow ERC in response and maybe trick them into something bad with the Daze, but nope, doesn't matter. Just dead. Wow, that sucks. Okay, yeah. Awkward mana was contributed to both of our losses that game. And this clunky 4-drop that maybe shouldn't have been in my deck contributed to this loss as well. Maybe Court of Grace on the draw against Delver is just not defensible. I just looked at the deck, and is having 4 Plow, 3 Ending, 3 Red Blast, plus End the Festivities in this deck. I was like, yeah, we could be able to protect the Monarchy. But nope. Not even close. Okay, next round. It's round 2. I'm on the play again. Still very good at drawing Esper Sentinel in Daze. Let's hope it is better in this matchup. Opponent mold to 5. They're either broken or unlucky. Either way, I'm glad Daze is in my hand. Steam Vents. Okay, it's Delver again. They ban Delver and then they keep playing Delver. Okay, this was a choice that was put to me last round in game 1 that I didn't consider for long enough. Do I just Daze this jerk? I think that's reasonable to do. I have 2 Dazes, and if they Daze me back, I draw a card here. Yeah, I'm pretty okay with this situation. Keep drawing Dazes. Just gonna get my cantrip in now. Oh god. Yikes. I do like Esper Sentinel, but the rest of these cards are not keepable, so I'm gonna shuffle the whole thing. And in for one we go. Okay, they have Wasteland now. I have a bunch of lands in my hand. That's mostly okay. And I can fetch basic island, basic plains with the mana that's available to me. Not sure if I want to take that route or just lean in. I'm ahead right now. I have more permanents in play, more life, and more cards in my hand than they do. So if they want to sign up for a Wasteland game, I'm probably just going to get down in the dirt with them. Oh, there's my basic plains anyway. Continue the beats. I'm going to brainstorm in their end step. Or am I getting lightning bolted right now? Brainstorm, okay. They can brainstorm and pay. I don't think I daze this. Yeah, I don't want to set myself back a land to do that. But they are in the squeeze. Like, they had to crack this fetch land, which they would have really liked to shuffle away their bad brainstorm cards with, but instead they had to pay 1, so I didn't draw a card. There is tension here. Esper Sentinel does a lot for 1 mana. Oh yeah. Draw a card, draw a card, draw a card. I drew Wasteland. Okay. I think I wiggle in my brainstorm here. And I am just going to lean into the non-basic land game. Batterskull and Cauldron are both in my hand right now. Don't think I need those. I could daze this. I don't think I want to, though. Nah. Like, if this EI comes up with, like, land lightning bolt, I'd like to daze that. Getting the second Sentinel down is really nice. It is a land. And DRC. There's no answer to this thing in sight. They are delirious. Is daze where I want to be? I don't think so. I'm gonna let them have that. I have so much removal in my deck. Just don't want to set myself back a land to handle that situation. I'm gonna start with Brainstorm. This is a lot of Wasteland. So I do have 2 days to Nettle Sentinel, Esper Sentinel. And maybe that's good. I'm gonna put back extra Wasteland on top. Waste one of their volcanic islands. Play Esper Sentinel number 2. And I'm drawing Wasteland next turn. I can daze a Murktide Regent. I can still daze a Murktide Regent. I'm on a 6-turn clock, and so are they, and they get the first move. So they're winning the race right now. Oh, yeah, I'll daze that. If they try to fight over this, I get to draw 2 cards. That's messed up. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm going to brainstorm here as well. Bunch of stifles. I don't think I want those ever. So is it better than all these lands? I kind of do want to get a shuffle through. Yeah, having all these brainstorms with like all these medium effective cards, kind of a squeeze here. Another 3 damage. Okay, we get to go to my turn. Then I'm going to fetch in my upkeep, get the Tundra again. How about a white removal spell deck? Anytime at all. Brainstorm. Okay, Swords to Plowshares has arrived. Put Batterskull and Basic Island on the top of the deck. Attack for 2. I'm going to plow right now. So they're brainstorming, getting the extra Surveil. If they pay for the Sentinels, then they can't pay for days. And I can still pay for days with my Wasteland. If this spell resolves, I'm wasting them. Just going to try to keep Murktide Regent in days range. Wasteland goes off. Oh, there's a land. I'm actually in a shitload of trouble doing Murktide Regent right now. Which is definitely what they have. Fuck. If I daze, what happens? I just lose, probably. Okay, fine. If I had Stifle up, I could daze there. Kind of a squeeze all around. Batterskull is the top card of my deck. Oof. I'm on a 1-turn clock here. I get 1 draw step to rule them all. Okay, I'm going to 5. I'm fetching to 4. Don't want Batterskull. Don't want basic plains. Come on, deck. Help me out. No! Fuck. God, Murktide Regent is so fucked up. Yeah, cracks open Tempo Mirrors. The person with 4 of that card is going to do better than the person with 2 of it most of the time. I'm wondering if there was a world where I could have danced my dazes and stifles to a spot where daze was effective here. I don't think so. Ugh. I had the 1 plow. And I'm 25 cards into my deck and saw one plow. And that's the cards that I've actually used, not the cards I've seen, which is a much higher number. So I don't know. Well, new lesson. We don't bring in Court of Grace. Flusterstorm, Narset, all of these removal spells. Ite was on the fence last time, and I think that's going to replace the court in my current spread. One pattern that's emerging is that Esper Sentinel is really cool in the early turns and then quickly becomes irrelevant as creatures are bigger than it. It forces and stifles out on the play, dazes in on the play. All of these removal spells and alternate types of threats come in. No Court of Grace this time. Let's go. No colored mana in this hand. Uh-oh. A single colored mana and no threats in this hand. I'm going to send B-Skull to the bottom. Okay, do I BoshNRoll Basic Island Ponder this and try to find white sources elsewhere? Do I just lean into the mana base of this deck and get Tundra? My hand's actually really good if I have a single mana stick around. I think I'm going to Ponder. I'm definitely going to Ponder, but I think I'm going to use the basic to do it. Maybe I'm a coward. Oh no. Well, can't keep 2 white cards in a colorless land here. Are we dead? Did I die? Oh, opponent mulled to 5 again. Didn't they beat me on a mull to 5 last time? I think they did. Okay, I could just get a red source and end the festivities immediately. I have 2 white and 2 red cards in my deck. I guess there's more good white cards in my deck than red cards. Yeah, like drawing Stoneforge Mystic would make me regret fetching red. Yep, there's Wasteland. We're having a good time now. Okay. They didn't have a follow-up, and now I have Daze. Don't know what that means, but I have it. Do I aggro Fluster this? Is that the world we're in? Probably. You know, I'm missing land drops. They mulled to 5. I don't think I can just let them brainstorm. Drew another white card. Maybe I'm just supposed to fetch Chandra. This is the worst handful of powerful spells I've ever seen. Okay. I'm not dead anymore. Now my fist is full of answers again. Oh, and they have the Wasteland for my next answer. I can fetch basic plains. There is no basic mountain, but at least now I'm on the board with all 3 of my colors. Steam Vents. Oh, SB. The SB awards. Oh no, are you a Stifle deck? How did this happen to me? How? Stop it. I don't approve of this. I do desperately need that white mana, though. Go ahead, Wasteland my red source. I need the white pretty bad. Okay, we did it. Basic Plains is online. Stifle confirmed in their deck. Jesus. They're cracking a fetch in the end step. Probably Lightning Bolt. And they've already cast a non-creature spell this turn, so nothing to pay for. Okay, my creature's dead. My hand has 3 answers to Murktide Region in it. They're currently not Delirious for Dragon's Rage Channeler, so End the Festivities can get it. They're definitely tapping mana for Murktide right now. I'm gonna Daze to pick up my Volcanic Island before they can waste it. That just gives me more answers to Murktide. Kind of a spew off of Daze, but like I lose if this Murktide goes unchecked. And I double my spells I can cast this turn. Okay, Red Blast. I'm gonna start with that because I have no guarantee of red mana for the rest of the game. They still haven't wasted me. There it is. Okay. It was time. Delver. I have a Prismatic Ending for that. Or if I draw a red source, I can end the festivities. Ooh. I would like to put this card in the stack, but they have not had an opportunity to cast Daze yet this game, and I'm going to wait on giving it to them. Saving the Plows for last, because that's the one that can hit Murktide. Okie dokie. Stoneforge Mystic. Let's go. Their last 2 cards in hand are Daze and Stifle. I quit. Right, that resolved. All of these weapons are bad if Stoneforge Mystic doesn't stay in play, so I might as well get the one that is best if it does. I'm also gonna end the festivities here. If they want to Daze that, that's fine. Pew pew. Okay, Delver's dead. Lightning Bolt. Okay, we're back to the scrap heap. I have successfully emptied my hand of red cards. with my last red source in play against the deck with 3 wastelands still in it somewhere. Can't counter that. I'm ready for their next 2 threats, but I do need to get a threat of my own very quickly. Finding another Stoneforge would be great. That's probably the best draw. Oof. A Brainstorm into Iteration. Now this is where their engine kicks in. Their land drop off of that. Ooh, that's a good one. Well, I'm going to put it on the stack. You Red Blast, you Red Blast. I'm not going to be able to play around it any better on a future turn. Okay, that's countered. It was a good draw. Didn't work. Another Brainstorm. We are falling behind quickly here. I just have to hope that they are digging for Murktides. If they have their own Narset or Court of Cunning or any of the pivot pieces, I'm wrecked. Murktide Region I at least have game against. Their Iteration. They can probably read that at least one of the cards in my hand is Swords to Plowshares, because I haven't played a land or a spell in a very long time. They found a wasteland, so red mana's gone forever. There's only 2 sources of that, and they're both in the graveyard now. No basic mountain in the sideboard, which is generally how I like to build decks like this. But I'm not going to wasteland them. They have 5 lands in play. The difference between 5 and 4 is pretty insignificant in this matchup, and the difference between 2 and 3 for me is huge. So just keeping this in play as waste instead of wasteland is where I want to be. I guess not really where I want to be, but it's where I am. I have enough plows that I can just start whipping them at the wall here. I have 3 plows and only 1 white, so it's not like I can wait to double spell or anything. I will make my land drop. Wasteland be damned. 4 cards in their hand and they pass the turn. That's a good card. I'm going to save it for later. They're currently just holding up Force of Will on the hard cast. I'm not going to just fire Brainstorm into that for free. I guess I could have wastelanded them and then gone to second main and cast Brainstorm. But even that, I think Pyroblast is a likely card in their hand. If they're not pressuring me, I'm not going to lean into turning on their counterspells. Here's a Murko. Maybe this can sniff a Force of Will out of their hand. Oh, I probably wanted to go to my turn to play around Flusterstorm. That was loose. Glad they didn't have it. Oh, cool. This is a card. I'm going to Brainstorm first. Pyroblast is going to get me eventually, so might as well go in here. Kaldra and Butte back into the deck. Stoneforge Mystic. Shuffle it up for me. Find that Kaldra again. Do I want Batterskull? I'm approaching 5 mana. Yeah, I am going to get Batterskull, actually. Next turn, I can cast the other Stoneforge, get Kaldra. Like, if this Stoneforge, if the first one survives, the second one can get Kaldra, and then the first one can activate and chuck it in. They have shown me Brazen Borrower already. Abrada. Nemesis. Uh-oh. That's pretty good against most of the cards that I have. I have no way to remove this card. Okay, Esper Sentinel, get in. And then Stoneforge Mystic. Do I want to Brainstorm first? I don't think so. I can let Stoneforge Mystic pick up another card. And then I can Brainstorm later, once I have extra cards. And I'm going for sort of Fire and Ice now. That is the blank reblank game on True Name Nemesis. Like, you have this thing I can't interact with, I'll give my creature protection from your deck. They've shown me the one Abrade, and Brazen Borrower can also bust open a sort of Fire and Ice situation. Just hope neither of those things happen. I've untapped. Okay. Wasteland. Activate. Put in Sophie. Equip Sophie. They could bolt right now. Wow, they didn't. They can Brazen Borrow right now and blow me out in combat. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. All right, looks like I'm just connecting. Nice. All right, 2 damage to the face, because 2 damage doesn't kill any other creatures. Let's get to work here. I'm on a pretty quick clock on their side, so this is among the least impressive Swords of Fire and Ice I've seen. Okay, they're stifling me, or stifling my sword trigger, which they have to pay 3, or I get to draw a card. That's not how this card works. They just floated 1. That's going to cost you 3, homie. There you go. Tap the rest of their lands. And then I am stifled. They have 1 card left. I have the choice now to Swords to Plowshares this DRC and just pull ahead of the race. But if their last card is Daze, I'm mega punished. All right, yeah, I'm not playing into Daze here. So yeah, there is still a Volcanic Island in their deck. And I don't want to just die to a Murktide if they come up with one. This attack puts me to 9. The next attack puts me to 3, which is bolt range. Ooh, my own Nemesis. Attack. Try to do some stuff here. Draw some cards. Murktide Regent, huh? I can play Murktide, which rams straight into this Force of Will they've been representing for the last several turns. I think I'm just going to plow on their turn and use Batterskull to stabilize. I'm going to plow right now as well, before they draw for their turn. They want to tap 5 mana for Force of Will, I draw a card. Okay. They didn't want to do that. And if my Esper Sentinel becomes a 7/7 lifelink vigilance Batterskull monster, that's very good, obviously. End step. They can stifle this activation or stifle the Germ Trigger. If they stifle the Germ Trigger, I just re-equip to the Sentinel, which was the plan anyway. Okay, cool. They're stifling this. They're stifling the Living Weapon Germ Trigger, which lets me just move my thing over. Yeah, that's great. Good deal. Should I just fire off Brainstorm now? I'm not spending this mana in any other way over the next several turns. If I can like flush a card out of their hand here. Daze. I will pay 1. Okay. Okay, so now they're hellbent. They just have 2 lands in their hand, and I get to equip Batterskull and go to town. I think we did it. Bang. 7/7, Vigilance, Sword of Fire and Ice, effects, protection from your deck. You must pay 7 when you cast spells, or I get to draw a card. Voltron assembled, GG's. I thought that was game 3. Fuck my life. We gotta do that again. Okay. That's right. I think Daze is much worse. My opponent has showed some patience and willingness to go into the late game with me, and Daze gets a lot worse there. Stifle isn't great in the matchup. Like, their Stifles can hit Stoneforge Mystic and powerful spells like that. Living Weapon triggers, equips. My Stifle just hits lands. I'm not like mega in love with. I think Daze is just pretty bad though. I could bring 2 Force of Wills back in to complement the 2 Stifles. That just gives me an angle to fight on. That does ram straight into Pyroblast. I think it's fine. I'm doing this. Oh, fuck yeah, the basic Plains hand. Let's keep it. Basic Plains with 4 white cards that cost 1. I'm in. They kept 6 this time. They've mulliganed down 5 cards over the 3 games we've played. And the matchup's still close. That's probably a bad sign. They shuffled the Ponder. I could just zap off this Wasteland, or I could get Esper Sentinel in and challenge the development. And I want to get Esper Sentinel in. That's fine. I have many of this card. I have Wasteland. They set themselves back a land. So now they're on the draw for terms of development. And I can Wasteland plus Esper Sentinel here. Ooh. I'm actually going to cast Sentinel first. Because if they stifle my Wasteland and then daze my Sentinel, I'm in trouble. But now if they stifle, I draw a card. There's a little sequencing action there. I'll do it that way. And yes, I would like to draw a card, thank you. Sword of Fire and Ice is now in my hand. That could have been disastrous if you just did it the other way, but keeping aware of what tools they have got this card into play and drew me a card. All right, I'm going to get my other Sentinel down now. Daze plus Stifle is something to be aware of, something to worry about, but they didn't have it. I'm not going to crack this fetch land into Stifle if I can avoid it. I have my own now. Look at me. I'm the Stifle deck now. Now this does create this awkward standoff where they haven't played a land, or they haven't played a spell, so their hand is clearly full of reactive options. Okay, This is a good target for Stifle. I can just hook their get their Wasteland on the hook, and then Stifle it, and then I don't have to worry about my own fetch land. Okay, what do I want to do here? They can pay 2. All right, so they paid their 2. They got their Brainstorm. I can fetch in response, just get my basic island set up. I could also Brainstorm right now, and then fetch. Yeah, brainstorming all these equipments out of my hand is actually really good. Or at least Cauldra, Sword of Fire and Ice might be able to play on its own. I'm still getting rid of them. And I'll risk the Stifle World right now, because at least now if they stifle me, it's going to cost them to shuffle on this Brainstorm. And if they don't, then my Stifle will cost them the shuffle on this Brainstorm. And now that I have this pile of lands, I think stifling their development is better than stifling to protect my Tundra. Splat. I'm also a Stifle deck, surprise! Oh, they just had a land in their hand anyway. Didn't need it. Alright, my Tundra's gone. I'm still fucked at Murktide region here. No answers in sight. Esper Sentinel looking embarrassing. Facing down the flying 7/7. My deck has so many answers in it, it would be an absolute delight to draw one of them. Okay, if I True Name here, there's nothing they can do about it without letting me draw cards. At least one card if they Force or Daze. I get 2 cards if they Pyroblast. They have Pyroblast. They just tapped a red, then untapped it. I would love to trade this True Name Nemesis for 2 cards off the top of my deck. Love it, because I'm not beating Murktide Regent with True Name. They're thinking pretty hard about this one. Like, this is the card you put Red Blast in your deck to answer out of my deck, but you already are way ahead on board. Do you give me 2 fresh draws? I don't think you do. I think I would let this resolve if I were the opponent and just bet on Murktide Regent. But if you lose the bet on Murktide Regent, you lose the game because True Name Nemesis is unbeatable. But now I know they have Red Blast over there. It makes Ponders and Brainstorms a lot worse. Please don't add to the pain. Don't have your own True Name or any bullshit here. Just pass the turn. Let me try to do stuff. I have 2 draw steps to figure this out. Like, any Cantrip or Lightning Bolt costs 3 right now for them, if they don't want me to get stuff out of it. Umezawa's Jite. I mean, okay. Alright, Jite. If they abrade this, I draw a card. If they don't abrade it, I gain a bunch of life every turn. Brazen Borrower is the same effect as abrade here. Okay. I have connected with Jite. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're actually dead on board if I don't gain life. Iteration. Okay. Do you want your mana up, or do you want to give me more cards? Oh, they're just giving me cards. They're like, here you go. I need my mana. This is exciting. Jite can put me to 16, which is technically an extra hit from Murktide, but it's still in bolt range. And those 2 cards were not helpful in this situation. I think the performance here also answers the question from last round of do we want Jite versus Delver? Just, do you want all 4 weapons? And I think you do. The little Delverino. Okay, I'm going to let them attack. And I'm going to cast Prismatic Ending on their Delver and see if they're dead. I'm attacking for exactly 9, and they're at 9. I can Prismatic Ending and stifle their fetch. If they cast any spell on my Prismatic Ending, I draw at least 1 card, maybe 2. Oh no, they had the Lightning Bolt. Okay. Well, that changes things. I need a real removal spell now. Yikes! Okay. Prismatic Ending your Delver. If I gain 4, which is what I have to do, I can get 2 more counters on this, which gains 8, puts me to 13. Okay, I'm going to attack first. See what happens. Attacking with my creatures. I'm going to gain 2 life to 7. Gain 2 life to 9. That lets me fetch and cast Stoneforge Mystic, which I think is my route through this game if one remains. I guess I just need to be alive 1 more turn. That's actually what I need to do. Yeah, maybe I should just use my colored mana here and Wasteland stifle them, just constrict their options. Getting Sword of Fire and Ice, and then Wasteland you and pass the turn. Expressive Iteration. I can't imagine they would pay for this. Yeah. All the spells are coming. Oh shit. Oh yeah, Stifle doesn't kill me. Probably should have just gained up to 12. Though, leaving one counter on Jite makes True Name lethal by itself. Yeah, if I can survive this turn without gaining all the life, that's better. Though gaining 2 life puts me to 10, and attack from Murktide puts me to 7, where if I pump my True Name to 5, I die to Bolt. I think I'm just pretty close to locked in on spending all of these counters. No, I can just take 7 and go to 1. That's the same thing, though. All right, yeah. I'm pretty priced into just using all these counters. Stifle was found, but they didn't have the follow-up for it. Cool. All right. Worked our way through Murktide Regent. That was tough. I thought we lost that one, but Umezawa's Jite saved the day. Whew. GG's for real this time. Next round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. On the draw in round 3. Got the mono non-basic hand, but I think this is not a deck full of basics. I gotta shake my normal Jeskai deck full of basics feelings. I think I lead on Volcanic Island because that's the one that is less disastrous if it gets wasted. And this hand does have Brainstorm, has Prismatic Ending, turn 2, Stoneforge. There's stuff going on here. God, is this the mirror match? That's okay. Yeah, that's not an Esper Sentinel deal. I almost just said Tundra decks don't have Wasteland in them usually, but that's not even true. StoneBlade usually has Wasteland in it. Shark still has Wasteland in it. Even Bant has Wasteland in it. Speak of, did not shuffle. I don't know. I mean, yeah, whatever. Let's just play turn 1 over again. Bang. Probably hurts you more than it hurts me. At least that's my hope. Blue to Delta, go. All right. Here's my Volcanic Island. I'm definitely representing Delver right now, just completely accidentally. Wasteland into Volcanic Island. I even have the days. Like, normally it's funny because you get to play around days. You get to trick them into playing around days, but it's not even a trick. I just actually have days. Okay, this is some sort of 4-color mush pile. It could be Aloran or just some, like, Dark Bant. It could be Dark Bant. That deck rules. I'm going to Wasteland them again. Just keep these hits coming. Keep this days in play. And get to ponder here. Another Wasteland, you don't say. Okay, I'm going to put Esper Sentinel in my hand and Wasteland on top. Unfortunate that I led on this Volcanic Island so many turns ago that I don't get to waste them plus Esper Sentinel next turn. And if this is a Loam deck, I might live to regret all these Wastelands I fired off. But if it's not, or they don't have it, or if I can keep them off of 2 mana or off of green mana, they might just die. Okay. Brainstorm. There is a world where dazing that is smart. I think if I were playing Delver, I would do that. We're going to know right now. Oh, no land. Brainstorm lock. With the next Wasteland coming. Relentless. Bang. Okay, they're under Brainstorm lock now. We're going to have 2 turns to do what we want without them doing anything. Oh, this is so cool. They just conceded, which, like, is fair if you're Brainstorm locked under 3 Wastelands. But I never showed them white mana. I never showed them what I'm actually doing. They just think I'm blue-red Delver. I'm not sure how much of a sideboard edge that's actually going to give me, but that's definitely what they think right now. Okay. Some number of red blasts coming in. The number might be 3. We'll get around to that later. I do think this is a Court of Grace matchup. As far as courts go, I think this should probably just be Court of Cunning. This deck is more blue than it is white. 1 mana is also a lot less, and they win the game in the same sort of time frame and in the same sort of way. So this should probably just be Cunning. All Breacher, Flusterstorm, all good cards here. This is probably an Uro deck. I could bring in Asurgical just out of respect. I like Batterskull. I like Cauldra. Though if it's a deck full of white removal, maybe Cauldra is not great. And I gotta find cuts somewhere. We saw Tundras, which make Cauldra less good. I could lean on Daze. On the draw, I like Stifle less. They didn't see Stifle last game or Daze. They just didn't see anything. They only saw Wastelands. Maybe I want to move around the number of Dazes, Stifles, and Force of Wills that I have. I might get some equity of them just playing around Daze all the time. And they're not going to play around Stifle because they haven't seen it. And I do like Force of Will because they do have powerful spells that I need to actually answer. This is what I'm doing. Let's go. This hand is fine. It's not the hand that you play this deck to open with, but it's not a mulligan. It is all the way completely fine. Nemesis. I'm just going to play Scalding Tarn and pass here. They chose to shuffle that Ponder. Surprise, here's Stoneforge Mystic. I'm going to fetch the red. I did bring in the red cards. Dr. Stonington, I presume. B-Storm in response. Go for it. I'm not going to use Daze to just deny them their shuffle off of this Brainstorm. These Bant decks are so heavy. Like, as you know, if you watch my channel, Daze will get you on turn 7 eventually. Like, there will be a spot. Don't worry about it. It's coming. And I think I want Batterskull for this matchup. The removal's white, so sort of Fire and Ice isn't great. And Batterskull can just chunk away. I don't have high hopes that Stoneforge will survive the turn cycle anyway. I don't even fight over Swords to Plowshares here. They can have it. I've already gotten a card off this exchange. And I'm threatening on tapping into True Name. And then Murktide Regent's still in the bank. There's stuff to do here that Daze sets me back from. And that would have been pretty bad to resolve. There we go. Told ya. Deck's full of 3-drops. What are you gonna do? Oh my god. That's my shit. Okay, time to brainstorm. Another Stoneforge is good because I'm about to get rid of these 2 equipments. And I could crack them with a Wasteland, untap and cast Stoneforge Mystic, try to stunt their development. I could work my way up to True Name. I do have this Murktide looming over the whole game, and I have 4 lands. Yeah, I do like Wasteland quite a bit. I think taking them off double green is more important than double white, and taking them off a blue source. There we go. They had the full Bant spread, so I couldn't take them off a color, but I could take them off double colors. Oh no, it's a second Narset. I don't like that they're just jamming off another 3-drop. I'm glad it's not a 4-drop. Alright, Uro's here. Does Uro generate a land? Or are we on 4 spells over there? Uro did not generate a land. And Stoneforge Mystic will tutor for the same Batterskull they already saw. Just learned they've been had. I just ended up with all the same cards in my hand that I had pre-Brainstorm. I like got the juice of the Brainstorm without losing the card advantage of the Brainstorm. That's just kind of a strange thing. Like, I redrew one of the cards I put back, and then I tutored for the other card I put back. Just a thing that happened. Green, green, blue, blue. Okay, they went for removing Stoneforge rather than jamming Uro. I like that. We're down to 3 cards in hand after the Ponder resolves. Running out of gas. Come on, Surgical Extraction. Hull Breacher. I'm going to breach this hull. Yeah, if they just tap 4 to escape Uro, I can answer the big body. Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to let this resolve and breach in response to the minus. Do I breach in response to the minus? No, I let them find the Ponder or whatever, and then breach that. Abrupt Decay. Okay. They can't cast that right now. My Breacher will at least get to clap the Narset. They would need to Force of Will because they tap their white. They don't have Plow up. They don't have 2 mana for the Decay. Yeah, the Force is really good here, but they did. Oh, they lost Jace to do that. Ah, that's great. Life is good. And then you know what card doesn't get Abrupt Decayed? Murktide Regent. You know what card also doesn't get Abrupt Decayed? True Name Nemesis. I got options here. I think I'm on True Name. I think that one is just more likely to connect against the Narset. Opponent said in the chat, that's pretty good. I hope so. It's a brave new world. We can play cards like this again. That comment also reveals to me they probably didn't leave a Plague Engineer in the deck or bring a Plague Engineer in. And this, even though they have 4 mana of 4 different colors, they are kind of squeezed right now. Like if they go for this Uro, I mean, they should know I don't have days because I would have fought over Hull Breacher. All right, they did have a land drop. It's probably Uro time. And I have the plow for that one. There it is. Don't have an answer to the spell. I do have an answer to the creature. They're going to have 4 cards in hand. 3 if they hit a land here. I'm kind of rooting for them to hit a land, actually. All right. Brainstorm, Abrupt Decay, 2 mystery cards over there. What we got going on. I'm going to plow Uro first. See if that works. They would have to force for it to not work. Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce. Not good enough. Mystical Dispute doesn't target plow. They could try to YOLO Brainstorm into the force. This is good testing for me on both sides. I have a paper tournament coming up this weekend, and I'm kind of between these Delvery style decks and Dark Bant. And here we are, playing that matchup out. The Mystic Sanctuary for Ponder and Response. Why? Is that part of a plan, or just like fetch just in case? There's the Brainstorm, as predicted. Do they have Force, and they just tutored up the Ponder, make sure they had a blue card when they could Brainstorm and still have a blue card? Is that what just happened? All right, no. None of that just happened. Okay. Back Narset. And Stoneforge Mystic does not generate a card, so I'm just going to go with Murktide here. There's Captain Murko. It's neither of these things get Abrupt Decayed, so I'm playing around the cards that I know. There's at least 3 Swords of Plowshares. Well, 3 Swords of Plowshares in their deck, and then some number of other answers to Murktide. And they have at least Ponder to dig for them, plus other mystery cards in the hand. Ouch. That's a big hit. Okay, Murktide's back in my hand. I'm also just waiting for a land to jam this Court of Grace. I think they're really, really dead to that. Brainstorm would be really good. I mean, Brainstorm's always really good, but specifically in this spot where I have this Stoneforge Mystic that doesn't even generate cards right now. Putting the equipment back in the deck and then tutoring them back up again. The classic Stoneforge engine. Drew myself a Ponder. Attack to Fairy. Just get that question answered. Then Ponder. Land and Esper Sentinel. I kind of want the Esper Sentinel now. Do I want Esper Sentinel at all? I could just take the land, shuffle my deck, and be done with it. Yeah, they have a lot of mana. I'm just going to take the land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can even cast Murktide right now. Yeah, let's just keep those hits coming. Do I need another red source? Do I need another white source? I'll take the white. 4/4 Murktide Regent. Let's go. This one can't be Mystical Disputed. Force pitching Uro. Wow. The 12 for 1. They clearly don't have an answer to a creature in their hand. Okay. Uro number 3 is here. That should be all of them. Surgical Extraction just got worse. But I did get them to commit to a Force of Will last turn, which is the only real answer in their deck to Court of Grace. Oh no. A Strix. I gotta deal with that now? Ugh. Okay, Court of Grace just got a little worse. I think I still just jam it. We can take turns being the Monarch. I don't think they can answer my true name. Yeah, if I just get this in, then I'm making creatures every turn, and my removal becomes extra potent because it also represents card draw. I have Uro answered with Prismatic Ending. That fucking Strix. So disappointing. Yeah, they said in the chat, can't Abrupt Decay that. I know, I have structured my plays around what can and can't be Abrupt Decayed. That has been a sub-game here. They're going to attack me, become the Monarch. Get a 1/1 Flying Spirit in my upkeep, and then True Name takes the Monarch back. I hope that my read that they can't answer True Name is accurate. If they just Plague Engineer right now, I think the game ends in the wrong direction. Prismatic Ending. Okay, that's fair. All right, so I'm not going to get the Spirit, but we are going to take the Monarch back and forth for a while. Here's my land for the turn. Back with True Name. Get the Monarchy back. So I could have... Oh, no. Oh, they can't Abrupt Decay right now, so... I was going to... Maybe this was a spot to sort of Fire and Ice. Yeah, I might have missed out on that. I was just tunnel visioned on removing Baleful Strix. And I'm going to start with Ending, actually. White, blue, exile this. Because Pyroblasting Uro on the stack buys me a ton of time. And if I'm drawing 2 cards a turn, plus if they just like skip Uro and jam Jace next turn, that's the type of thing that might be able to compete. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm just going to pass the turn with all this mana up. Do another red blast. Pretty good. Really want to brainstorm to unlock these Stone Forges. My finger's on the trigger for red elemental blast as soon as this Uro gets on the stack. Blasting it. Counter target blue spell. Get out. Okay. So Uro's going to come in. I'll have to answer it in play. Right. Can't pay for enough of these. Deck's full of answers to Uro. Get 2 draws next turn to find one. Field of the Dead is becoming scary at this point. Ooh, Caracas. All right, so Uro is safe from my exiling. At least till I find a wasteland. Brainstorm, sweet relief. Let's go. Found everything I wanted on that brainstorm. All right, put the weapons back in the deck. Do I want a wasteland now or just get my Stone Forges active? All right, let's see if Pyroblast works. I'm going to start with that. Okay, yeah, they bounce it rather than let it get destroyed. That's an interesting question. That's going to make the game last a lot longer. Yeah, whether you want it in the graveyard or the... Like, if I was going to exile it, obviously you bounce it, but putting it in the graveyard might be better. I don't know. All right, here's Batterskull back again, and I'm going to fetch my other Volcanic Island. I'm going to sandbag the Wasteland, get the Volcanic Island, play the other Stoneforge, get the Sword of Fire and Ice. This kind of overloads the Abrupt Decay, where they're not going to be able to keep Batterskull from joining the game. And now they've seen Sword of Fire and Ice. It's not even clear if they would want to fight over Batterskull or just save the Sophie, the decay for the Sophie. And it's possible that I can just waste them off black mana anyway next turn. And like Flooded Strand doesn't get Bayou. They only have one source of black. Could happen. Okay, Swords to Plowshare is one of those. It already drew a card. I'd just like to take a moment to pause and talk about what a great match of Magic this has been. I love this shit. Just slamming back and forth with blue mid-range decks. Ugh. Beautiful. Here comes the front half of Uro again. They don't currently have the mana for the back half. This Flooded Strand can get Underground Sea, which does mess up my... Okay. The mana they have does not cast Abrupt Decay. So Sophie can arrive and clear out this Baleful Strix on connection. Ooh, they fetched an extra black, which means I can waste them off double green, which means Uro's not castable from the graveyard unless they have another green source available. This is so much fun. Okay. Do I ponder first? How much mana do I need this turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 5 to... Okay, I can't afford to ponder first. And I found Red Elemental Blast, which is exactly what I was looking for. Gonna play Sword of Fire and Ice. Play... Ooh, interesting. Now I'm not sure I want a Wasteland. Do I need to do that? No, I still want a Wasteland. All right, I'm gonna equip. Just blast in there. Drawing Force of Will off the top of my deck, which I don't really want. I don't have a blue card to go with it, but I'll take any extra cards at this point. Kill Baleful Strix, Wasteland, go after Tropical Island, take them off double green. We need a green source to Uro this turn. Ponder's likely to find it. I can Wasteland Caracas and then ending the Uro next turn while drawing 3 cards between Draw Step, Monarch, and Sophie. They did find the fetch land. I'm sure there's a green source left in this deck. I only see one Tropical Island, although they have exiled a bunch of stuff. Oh, there's a Trop in exile. There's a Trop here. Savannah's here. The Bayou's still on the deck, but a Flooded Strand can't fetch it. Yeah, they might not. I don't remember if this deck has a 3rd Trop. I'm not going to lie. It does. Okay. I thought that was a possibility. Uro resolves. So I guess they could still hit the Bayou, because this did tax their green in a way that they can't decay my sword right now. There is a Bayou in there somewhere, though. Wasteland's not going to do it. Wasting one of my red, sure. I mean, when those are gone, they're gone. That is a thing about this deck. There's no endurance, no loam, like no way to get your red sources back. Ooh, Esper Sentinel. Big fan of that one. I'm gonna put that card on the stack. See what happens. And then I'm gonna Wasteland their Caracas. Now they have a choice. It's like, do I pick up my Uro before it's gone forever? All right, deal. Either way, Uro is not in play right now, and that's what I wanted. Either of my top 2 cards is a blue card. I have Force and Red Blast backup going into my next turn. I don't think I'm going to connect with Sword again. This seems like it's time to Abrupt Decay. There's still a Surgical Extraction floating around my deck somewhere as well. Swords of Plowshare is a good one. And this is the last Uro. They're running out of win conditions. If this is my list and has Paradox Zone, we could still die to that. They're decaying Esper Sentinel. I wonder if this is some sort of mental block where True Name is untouchable, therefore their brain isn't registering Sword of Fire and Ice. Because this is a much more troublesome permanent than Esper Sentinel is. Alright, cool. I thought we were done connecting with Sophie, but maybe we got another one. Or maybe they have 2 Abrupt Decays, both of which are possible. Okay, that is what happened. Story checks out. Ooh, red mana's gone. I'm gonna float blue. Make it look like I have something blue to do. Ooh, Stifle. That would have been good to go with my Wasteland. Anyway, here's our True Name. There should be 1 fetchable land left in the deck. Yep, there it is. Okay, there's 1 Murktide left in the deck that can really end a game. And I think I should deploy my Batterskull. I have Force backup now. I'm going to have to go to discard because of the Monarch, so I'm just going to tap out and play my stuff. At this point, it's like cards in deck versus how much life they can gain off looping Uro, and I believe I'm winning the race. I have 9 more turns before I deck myself, and they can go to 18 this turn. I'm attacking for 7, and then Esper Sentinel, plus Murktide's in there somewhere. I think we can do this. And I would Force of Will a Paradox Zone. That thing might actually beat me. There he is. Big, stupid asshole face himself. Uro. I love Uro. I take it back. It's just currently making this game take a long time. Blooded Strand still doesn't fetch Bayou, though. That Bayou's lurking in their deck somewhere, causing trouble. My deck is mostly air from here, though. There are not many relevant spells left and no lands left. There's the Wastelands. There are 2 Wastelands left in the deck. Okay, I can still hit land drops. Opponent just said it's a good thing they're losing this game because they don't have time to win game 3. That is definitely true on all fronts. And that's my problem with Bant. Yeah, they just confirmed in the chat that this was my Dark Bant list. They replaced Witherbloom Command with Abrupt Decay, though, which do different jobs. It is a different card, but otherwise pretty cool. And we got the GGs in the chat. They're out of gas. I'm full of gas. Let's go. On the play in round 4. This hand's kind of a shitter. And it has Brainstorm in it, which can solve a lot of problems. It's got a couple land drops. I'll try it. But this is not really the type of hand you want in a Daze deck. Let's hope the back half of the deck picks up the slack here. Got a Polluted Delta strategy. Watery Grave. All right. Old Death Shadow for your face. I'll Brainstorm in response to this. If they Daze me, that's fine. But my hand sucks. Go nuts. I'm only casting Brainstorm because I don't want them to Thoughtseize Brainstorm, not because I particularly care about the cards in my hand. Okay, yeah, go nuts. They'll probably take Prismatic Ending from this hand. It's just full of bad cards. They took Force of Will. That's surprising. Is this Doomsday? But Doomsday wouldn't have fetched their Watery Grave on purpose up front. That's a Death Shadow play. Doomsday can contain Watery Grave. That's not unheard of, but I don't know. Weird. I'm confused and I don't like it. Ponder's a good draw, though. Okay. Stoneforge Mystic and the land to cast it. I am not going to shuffle. I'm going to play my land and pass the turn. Watery Grave back. Shocking again. And I am going to take this draw step. I think I just want to zap off this Wasteland. Okay. Brainstorm from the opponent. Watery Grave is gone. Fetch. Hope they're not a Stifle deck. We played against so many today. We even are one. Maximum anime betrayals here. Stoneforge Mystic. I'm going to get Cauldra and start asking questions. No Fatal Push or Snuff Out in the end step. They can waste me off white. That's effective. Yep, they fetch Shock Death Shadow right here. They're in good shape if I blank on white. Okay, Snuff Out confirmed. This is even worse. Okay, Ponder's fine. Deal, deal, deal. Just give me a window to find some white mana. Goes to shuffle their library. Good. Ah! I'm in business. Can even hardcast this Force of Negation. My hand is still assholes, though. Make no mistake. This is not a good situation. Here comes Murktide Regent. Oh, God. Wasn't ready for that one. They tricked me with Death Shadow. I felt so good. That might explain why they took my Force of Will on turn 1. They've been planning this whole time. Weird. They only made a 5/5 despite having a graveyard full of spells. They must have a second Murktide. Yeah, that's what's going on. Sheesh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there it is. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this is the second Murktide. Yup. And that's what I'm always talking about when I say to you, give your opponent credit for being a thinking, breathing human being. Like, I could have been like, LOL, that idiot doesn't know how Murktide works, but instead I identified that they had a second Murktide. Look who decided to join the party, though. Okay. All right, I'm out. I'm out. Yeah, they played around Prismatic Ending really well. They saw it off the Thoughtseize. They knew it was there. They knew Force Negation was there. Batterskull never showed up, and then they were able to control relevant aspects of the game. Okay, Narset's in. Flusterstorm I probably want. Ball Breacher seems reasonable. Probably a Jitte matchup. Pyroblast kills Murktide Regent. We take those. I don't think I want the full boat because it doesn't kill Death Shadow. Pretty important. Don't think this is a Stifle matchup. It's definitely not a Force of Negation matchup, and even Force of Will kind of is bad. I like Daze on the play. If I go thinner on Force of Wills, what does my deck start to look like? Do I get my Stifles back? Or do I just want Force of Wills? Yeah, they're not a red deck, so I do actually like Force of Will better here. 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 blue cards. Not a lot of support for Force of Will. There's just so many non-blue cards in this deck. Is this a Court of Grace deck? It might be. They're going to have a hard time beating it. Okay, Court of Grace deck. Force of Will out, Court of Grace in. Let's make it happen. On the play, got a Swords to Plowshares in this one. I have my fun of one of Force of Will. I'll keep. I am going to lead on Basic Island. They're not going to play anything that would get me to plow on turn 1. Like, even if they have Delver on turn 1, I'll just go to my turn and play around Daze. But I might Brainstorm in response to Thoughtseize if they cast that. Right, I'm going to play my Arid Mesa and Brainstorm. I'm doing this now because there are 1-drops in my deck I'd like to cast some amount of the time, like Esper Sentinel. I don't think I want Force of Will right now, and Wasteland can also chill. And I'm going to get Tundra and cast Ponder. Narset's pretty good. I'll tuck Narset on top in case I get discarded, put Pyroblast in the hand, and the 5th land 2 cards down, because I don't actually want a 5th land, probably. Unless they start wasting me. The time for him to Turok. Are we back in that world? Lightning Greaves. This is legacy, folks. Lightning Greaves is in play, and I could not be more excited about it. Okay, I can jam Narset into Daze. I could fire off a Wasteland and exile their Greaves. I really don't want to exile their fucking Greaves. That's so annoying. Okay, I am going to Wasteland them and exile their Greaves. That at least puts a spell in the graveyard to Merc with. And if they Daze this... Oh, they force that? That's even better. Force of Negation pitching Narset. That's a lot of action out of 1 card. They can make a 2/2 Death Shadow right now. 1/1 Death Shadow. With Haste and Shroud. This is fun. God, I hope I lose to this. This is so fun. Okay. Alright, I'm going to fetch for 1, 2, 3, 4. I can make a pretty big Murktide Regent right now. Or I could just play Narset. I'm gonna Narset. Go ahead, Daze me. Stubborn Denial. Alright. That works. If they play any other creature, the Swords of Plowshares still kills Death Shadow. Like, look at this. This is Jesus. This is so funny. Okay. Lightning Greaves technology. Bang. 2 cards in hand. I hope it's Force Blue card because I have the Pyroblast to put you into the earth. Counter target spell if it's blue. Splat. And then we Plague Wind them back up to 13, and it's time to Murktide. Captain Mirko. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, there it is. 7/7 mode. Oh, they have their own Murktide. Is it bigger than mine? No. Okay. I have the bigger Murktide, but there's a Shroud. Checkmate. Oh, okay. Clean that one right up. Exile the pants, or the feet, whatever they're wearing, the boots. In for 7. And I'm just going to blast their homie right now, while I know they can't Stubborn Annihilate or whatever. Look at that. Both players hellbent, slam and removal spells, back and forth, dynamic gameplay, exciting permanence, and the last fatty wins. Richard Garfield, baby. Do I bring in Meltdown for their stupid shoes? I definitely don't. That's a joke. But it's there. Okay. I probably want the full boat of Rebs just out of complete respect for Murktide Regent. That's just like, I'm a Swords to Plowshare deck that even if they do the shoes thing, Court of Grace gets a lot worse with Lightning Greaves in their deck. I can't believe I said that sentence in a Legacy League. I'm on the draw. Daze is a little chunkier. Force of Will's a little better. All right, this looks like a deck. Uh-oh. They are a Wasteland deck. I don't like the one lander, but it's got Ponder. Let's go. Can't be a wuss. Opponent mold to 5. That helps me. Okay. I hope I just draw Tundra on turn 1 and can play my Sentinel. Just kidding, I'm Thought Seized. I'm kind of also on a mold to 5 because these Red Blasts don't do anything until the late game. They took my Ponder, which is the smartest thing they could do. That's not a Wasteland. Good news. Come on, Tundra. Fuck. All right, well, they found the route to dig out of their mold to 5. I'm currently on a mold to 0 because I can't cast any spells. Land. All right, I'll take a Ponder. Even if they choose to counter this, that's inactivity, like action. They found a window to sneak in a Brainstorm against my Wall of Rebs. Pretty smart. Okay, that's fine. Daze. And shuffling their Brainstorm. Yeah, that was a pretty good turn cycle for them. Yeah, they can make a pretty big shadow right now. If I draw the white source, they're in trouble because I have Plow with backup. All right, well, they know I can kill this. So they must have an answer to it. Counter your, or kill your jerk. I'm doing it now where they would have to force it and they can't just Stubborn Denial. I was also about to go to discard, so getting the card out of my hand is worth a card. All right, extracting my Reb. I do unfortunately have both Rebs in my hand and did not get the Reb Pyroblast split. If they have Narset or something here, that's bad for me. Yeah, they have to cast a blue card here. Like, or else you would just wait. Yeah, they have another Murktide. Okay, I just need to draw a white source. They are Hellbent. And I'm on a 4-turn clock. Come on, deck. Don't be a dick right now. Here's the first 5 damage. Jesus. Don't do this to me. Not like this. Guess I discard Stoneforge Mystic. Or is Esper Sentinel bad? I don't think Esper Sentinel's going to be playing this game. God, every card they draw is just bad. Like, if they just have, like, Stubborn Denial in their hand. And I even have that beat if I draw the white source right now. Jeez. Ugh. This is my life just oozing out of my brain. Yeah, now they can hardcast Force. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. And just like that. Well, that is, that's pretty embarrassing. I don't know if I can hold that against the deck or what is actually going on there. But that was bad. And my opponent was hellbent with a 5/5 in play with me at 20, and I have 7 cards in my hand and just died. I mean, they did make two really good decisions that game. They Thoughtseized Ponder and Dazed Ponder. And Ponder is, like, the way these Xerax decks are built is that you replace lands with cantrips. So beating up on the cantrips when they know I'm soft on lands, they played that really well to make this position happen. I don't like that, though. That is, that's a strike to me. If you're gonna play these, like, Dazed Wasteland low land count decks, I feel like Stoneforge Mystic and, like, Hullbreacher aren't where you want to be. Like, if you're gonna register a deck like this, it should be able to cast its spells on one land. Okay, I'm done musing about that, but that was... I don't like that. It was certainly some amount of variance involved, but there was some amount of deck building problems with that situation as well. Okay, next round. I'm on the play in the final round, and I have a turn 1 Esper Sentinel. Let's go. No blue card for this Force of Will, which has been a theme throughout this league. Fetch my Tundra. Opponent mulled to 6. Esper Sentinel is here. I hope they kept a turn 1 Ponder hand. Oh. Badlands. Okay. If they just go in here... Oh, they don't need to go in. They're not planning on casting any non-creature spells here. Grave can clear the Force of Will if they think that's what's important, or the Plow if they think that's what's important. But I bet on Force of Will here. Okay. Faithless Looting lets me draw a card. There's the blue card for my Force that I no longer have. And now my shields are down. If they have Lotus Petal Reanimate, I am the fucked. There's the Lotus Petal. And there's a Grizzlebrand. Cool. Just like that. Okay, they draw 7. If they can discard my Plow, we're in trouble. Even if they can't, we're probably still in trouble. Okay, yeah, there's a Grief. Grief is right. That's exactly what I feel right now. Turns out drawing 7's pretty powerful in Legacy. Swords of Plowshares off the top. Murktide Regent. All the cards they discarded, I'm almost there, but not quite. Okay, Stoneforge Mystic. Let's try to make a run of this. I'll get Batterskull, I guess. Yeah, this game is over. Is that with all the cards they draw from Grizzlebrand, they can probably get this Archon into play, which the two of them together is not beatable. Exhume. Don't suppose I discarded any creatures, did I? Nope. They're gonna pay the toll. They are. All right, yeah. I've had enough of this one. We're done. Yeah, hand just shredded there. Esper Sentinel even drew an extra card. Not good enough. Okay, the Surgicals come in. This sideboard's actually really soft to Reanimator. Hullbreacher, Narset, Force of Negation. Breacher and Narset offset Grizzlebrand if we get into the mid-game, which is pretty important. True Name Nemesis is text list. Prismatic Ending's pretty bad. Batterskull's not great. Cauldron does that work here. Sophie doesn't really matter. None of these red cards are helpful. Word of Grace. It's, I'm sure, not where I want to be. I feel like I'm too thin on threats right now. Like the Stoneforge Mystic only getting Cauldron seems risky. Maybe I need to leave Batterskull in. If I do that, what am I? Stifle is... Stifling a Grizzlebrand activation is non-zero. And also just anything that's blue is good because I'm bringing in an extra force to go with the 5 forces in the main that have already struggled to have blue cards. Okay. I guess I'm just all in on Cauldron for Stoneforge Mystic. So they are a discard deck. Oh, Grafdigger's Cage is right here. What the hell am I doing? All right, stop yelling at your monitors. I see it. I see it. Stifle. I can go a little thinner on Plow. In a deck like this, I think the way that it's built with the Hullbreacher, the Narset, like the fact that you can actually contest a Grizzlebrand in play, having outs to a resolved one is worth doing. And cutting those 2 cards lets me get Batterskull back in. I like Batterskull and Cauldron. I don't want Jute and Sophie. I want equipment that turn Stoneforge Mystic into a threat rather than a utility piece. On the play, I'm going to keep this. This is very good at not dying. Gonna land go. Even if this was Tundra, I would still land go and just play the Esper Sentinel on turn 2. But it's not Tundra, so I don't even have to think about it. This asshole. Okay. Yep, whatever. Grief gets to take one of my cards, probably Flusterstorm. Yep, took my Flusterstorm. They pitched Grizzlebrand to do that. Faithless Looting in before Hullbreacher. I think I want to force pitching Force on the looting. Like, that is an enabler and a fixer. This could be bait, but I'm going to take it. If it's bait, you earned it. Call me a fish. I'm on the hook. Ooh. Wasteland or Esper Sentinel here. If I can bridge the gap up into Hullbreacher, that's a big deal. All right. I'm going to Wasteland them. I think constricting their options. We're still early enough in the game. The cards in their hand are still the cards they chose to keep this game. Ooh, just shipping it. I like that. Here's Esper Sentinel. Okay. Don't tease me, opponent. You didn't have a land last turn. You don't have one now. Just ship it. Concede the game. Okay, cool. Hullbreacher is live now. And I'm insulated with a random shitter against Archon. Like, I can absorb an activation with Archon. If they grief or unmask me, I can flash in Hullbreacher. Okay, cool. So I flash in Hullbreacher, and then grief has to take Esper Sentinel, which puts a creature in my graveyard if they ever try to exhume. Okay. Here is this now. They griefed pitching another Grizzlebrand. Oh, I drew Murktide Regent. It was nice of them to discard 2 cards for me. Keep these hits running. Dang. I'm leaving Esper Sentinel in my graveyard for exhume possibility. I don't care if they reanimate my creature, because they have better creatures. Yeah, feed me. Esper Sentinel, draw Surgical Extraction. Oh my god. Yeah. This makes up for last game. We have a third one to play, but this was a stern pounding. Oh, they didn't even have to look at it. Just from Hellbent to best card. Jeez. Okay, that felt good. Do that again. Ooh, you can stifle Grief's discard trigger as well. That's a cool use of Stifle. Does that change the number of Stifles I want? Maybe. Stifle's also a blue card, which matters. I can go a little skinnier on Stoneforge Mystic. This isn't a game where I'm going to do like the Stoneforge for something, Stoneforge dies, Brainstorm, Stoneforge the same thing. Like, you don't need that engine. Just like Stoneforge is just your top end, and when it resolves, it sticks. Okay. Stifles are in. Let's go. All my 0 mana interactions in. This is tough. My opponent kept 7. If I get a turn, this hand is medium. Like, but I'm not even guaranteed that. I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, this one's better. I can at least do something with this hand. I can fight to get a first turn, and then maybe stifle my way into doing something with it. Oh god. I think I just force this. Because if this resolves, then they can Thoughtseize, Entomb, Reanimate. And I'd rather just constrict the options. It was smart of them to play Basic Swamp this game. Hope Stifle lines up against anything they're doing. Ooh. Ooh. A Stifle? Uh-oh, not a Stifle. Let's hope Animate Dead is there. Fuck. Alright. Alright. Oh, they're targeting themselves with Thoughtseize. Okay, okay. Oh, Animate Dead is their thing! Stifle's gonna do it. Okay, Animate Dead resolves. Stifle. Welcome to the New World Order. Bang. Fucking bang. Their last card in hand is Archon of Cruelty. Any reanimation spell off the top, they're just right back in business, but that was a really good Stifle. I'm going to pretend that was the third one that I boarded in. Oh no. Drew their one piece of card selection in the deck off the top immediately. And it even gets to dump the Archon for free. Come on, give me a turn to draw a blue card. Let me find a blue card here. Alright, I'll take that one as well. That answers Archon. So now they need to clear Plow and then Archon me. I mean, Archon still gets to draw a card on the way in. But at least I'm not ice cold to it. Just medium cold. Okay, Reanimate happens. I'm going to let the trigger resolve. I'm going to discard Wasteland. I'm not going to plow this thing right away, unless they cast a discard spell. Okay. Plow this. Blue card? Even better. Okay. We're back in action. I need a threat, but the shields are up from dying immediately. Okay, Surgical, targeting Archon. And the last card in their hand is Faithless Looting, Archon. Let's look at this deck real quick. They have a Sneak Attack. That's fun. A Croxa. Oh, this is a take. Pack Rat, Massacre Worm. Oh god. Anger. Oh, they are on some bullshit. Okay. Well, they currently have Faithless Looting in their hand and no other cards. Time to draw Hull Breacher. Come on, deck. Hull Breacher off the top. Shit. And I'm going to run out the Wasteland because I'm a land away from Hardcasting Force. I don't think they're in any position to respect Hull Breacher, which means they're just going to jam their card. Yep, unfortunate I don't have it. They found a Grizzlebrand. Oh no. Okay. The way they played that land, I was like, you do not have the reanimate right now. Stop it. Okay. I have Force Blue card now. They have the upper hand right now. They can sculpt until they have, or just wait until they have a discard spell to check. Like, there's really no... Oh, fuck. I forget what's in this deck. Okay. Is there some techie BS? Yeah, it's Croxa. Yep, there was techie BS. That means I need to Wasteland them, actually. Right, yeah, Croxa is really cool in a spot like this. Reanimate off the top. Alright, well. We're hellbent. And I draw Grafdigger's Cage. Stifle ain't it. Yeah, we're in the spot where we've survived till turn 8, but Reanimator's favored from here. Cast Animate Dead. Okay. Looting from Graveyard, I guess, is fine. I mean, like, any land at this point is dangerous to me. Oh, they milled over their anger. Come on, deck. Grafdigger's Cage. Shit. I don't need a Plains. I'm going to hold on to that in case I draw Brainstorm or if they make me discard, which is likely. I guess I lose my whole hand if they Croxa because they have the anger. Come on, deck. Ugh. This is mind melting. Brain melting, heart melting. They literally just need a mana source and I die. The anger, the Croxa, all of these spicy little pieces of tech have arrived. And they matter a lot. They did just dump their Sneak Attack. That's good news. Okay, deck. Come on. Draw step, draw step, draw step. Alright. I'm gonna fetch here. I still have a fetch land if I draw Brainstorm, but I can get a bad card out of the way. A land out of the pool of cards I could draw here. And still draw a land. Okay, I am ready to hardcast Force of Will, which is probably not worth bluffing because their Croxa just shreds both of the cards from my hand anyway. And you can't stifle Escape. That is an alternate casting cost. It's not an activated ability, as much as I would love it to be. Am I just dead? I'm taking 9 and I get 1 draw step. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I discard Floated Strand and take 3. And then they attack. I'm going to stifle the discard trigger. It's functionally identical to if I just let it resolve. But I'm going to get the moral victory of casting my spell. Got him. Okay, Swords of Plowshares. This is where I draw Grafdigger's Cage. Get ready. Murktide Regent. Where were you for the last 6 turns? But now I'm dead because they attack with this. I'm hellbent and I lose 3 to the attack trigger. Oof. Oof. Tough on that one. Yeah, we went to turn 11 against Reanimator and their Crocs attack did come in pretty clutch. That was a cool match. Okay, my feedback about this deck is there's a lot of air in it and a lot of clunkers in it, which is kind of a weird thing to say about a deck because normally a deck full of clunkers doesn't have a lot of air, but this one has both. I'm just not convinced that you can play 5 main deck forces in a Stoneforge Mystic deck because that gives you... that's automatically 6 to 8 cards that aren't blue in the deck. And Force of Negation doesn't punch through your Stoneforge Mystic. And I just think that the way Legacy functions these days, forcing to protect a Stoneforge Mystic isn't going to win the game, even if you can do it. It's just sort of a tough sell on that one. Really, I think the problem with this deck, Stifle is part of it, where Stifle never... I mean, I stifled that Animate Dead that was the only hero moment Stifle had in this whole league. I think this card is just bad. And every time there's a ban or a new set or a meta shakeup of any kind, people play Stifle for like 2 weeks, then remember it's bad. And I think that's where we are right now. Stifle was not worth the slot in this deck at all. The mana base, 19 lands, is pretty low. Like, that's what Delver plays, and Delver only has to worry about 2 colors of mana, and they have Dragon's Rage Channeler to help smooth it all out and Expressive Iteration to hit those land drops. We're playing 19 lands in a deck with Stoneforge Mystic, True Name Nemesis, and Murktide Regent, with relying just on Brainstorm and Ponder to make it happen. We also got punished by the splash color. Like, the Rebs were good. We brought them in, and they performed. They did their job. But this is a blue-white deck, and can we make the splash smaller? Can we support it lighter? Can we move this mana base around so there's a basic mountain in the sideboard and we're just blue-white in the main? Or maybe turn one of these Volks into a Tundra and get a mountain into the sideboard. Just the games where my hand was full of white cards, or I couldn't get double white to double spell because I had a red land in play, were just really bad. The point of a 2-color deck is that your mana's good, and the splash support out of the sideboard right now is making the 2-color deck bad. I like the core concept. Esper Sentinel is a really neat card, and if you have ways to actually increase its power and toughness, or I guess only its power really matters. Yes, power. Yeah, if you have ways to increase its power like equipment, that's a really cool space to build around. I just think that this deck is kind of like, hooray, it's 2015 again, and it's not. Like, even I don't think this deck would even compete in like War of the Spark Legacy, much less Throne of Eldraine, Modern Horizons 2, Strixhaven Legacy. Like, I think we're like several generations of Legacy past where a deck like this is presentable. But you can clean it up on the edges. If Stifle just becomes a good card, if you clean up the mana base a little bit, add a land, maybe you play 2 Wastelands in this deck instead of 4 and just add more colored sources. My old Stoneforge Mystic decks from like the 2018, 2019 era, I was really into 2 Wasteland just as a surgical tool, but it's not really a plan. You don't really waste people out of games with this deck. You tap it for mana as much as you do anything else. But Daze and Stifle and Esper Sentinel encourage you to make bad decisions with your Wasteland, which I think is a flaw. Yeah, I think we could just clean this up and embrace the mid-range better. Just acknowledge that there's already a tempo shell, and these are not the cards that belong in it. If you want to go mid-range, we can go mid-range with this. Put some Planeswalkers, some Narset, some Teferi, get rid of Stifle, get rid of Daze, add a land. There's something there. Esper Sentinel could thrive in that shell. I don't like what's going on here. It's being pulled in too many directions that don't really help itself do anything. I'm going to wrap that up. Really cool idea, really cool space to build here, but there is not a Delver vacuum. Look, where we're not looking for the next Daze Wasteland deck. It's still just blue-red Delver. They banned Ragavan, but they still have Dragon's Rage Channeler, Expressive Iteration, and Murktide Regent. There is no power vacuum at the top. It's still Delver's world. And a deck like this is just clunky against Delver. And the things that draw you to a deck like this, being Stifle and Daze and low-cost threats, are just bad against Delver, fundamentally. Delver's already doing that thing. They already want to live in that world. And dragging your Azorius or Jeskai control deck into that world where they're king is just not the way to do that. I'm cutting it off now. I could talk about this for a long time. I'm just going to make myself stop talking. Spunky, thank you for the list. Really cool space to explore in the kind of new format. And thank you for watching. Everybody, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Give me your thoughts about how you would fix this list or what you would do differently in this new Ragavan free format. And I'll see you next time.